Hello everyone, today I want to share with you a familiar topic that is often misunderstood, blood fat, or cholesterol in the blood. Many people think cholesterol is only harmful, and when they hear high blood fat, they immediately restrict their diet, avoiding any food that contains cholesterol. Some even completely eliminate this group of foods from their meals. But in fact, that is a mistake. In this video, I will help you clearly understand what cholesterol in the blood really is, whether it is beneficial or harmful to the body, and most importantly, what we need to do to keep cholesterol at a reasonable level, helping to prevent heart disease and stroke while still maintaining good health. What is cholesterol, good or bad? The first thing we need to know, cholesterol is not entirely bad. In fact, cholesterol is a necessary substance for the body. Many types of hormones in the body are synthesized from cholesterol. Vitamin D also needs cholesterol combined with sunlight to be formed. The components of cell membranes and cell walls involve cholesterol. Bile, which helps digest fat, is also synthesized from cholesterol. So cholesterol is actually an important raw material for the body to produce hormones, vitamin D, bile, etc. Without cholesterol, these processes would be seriously affected. In other words, we need cholesterol to live healthily. Problems only arise when cholesterol exceeds the necessary level. That's when it becomes harmful and leads to disease. Where does cholesterol come from? Cholesterol in the body does not only come from the food we eat. There are two main sources. One, food cholesterol-rich foods. Two, the liver. The body produces cholesterol on its own to meet its needs. And here's something interesting. Diet only affects about 20% of the cholesterol level in the blood. The majority is produced by the liver. This is why many thin people still have high blood fat, because their liver's cholesterol production mechanism is disturbed, not just because they eat too much fat. Therefore, if you think that just strictly dieting can control cholesterol, that is a misconception. We need to understand it correctly and combine multiple factors to adjust it. Now, let's go a bit deeper. When we add cholesterol into our body, cholesterol itself cannot directly dissolve in the blood to reach our cells. It needs a type of carrier called a lipoprotein, which is synthesized in the liver. There are two main types of these carriers: low-density lipoprotein, LDL, high-density lipoprotein, HDL. These are exactly the two indicators you often see on your blood test results when checking for blood lipids: LDL and HDL. There are also some neutral forms of cholesterol, but the most important ones are LDL and HDL because they play the biggest role in determining the risk of diseases in the body. When the liver produces cholesterol, LDL, or low-density cholesterol, enters the bloodstream. LDL has the task of transporting cholesterol to where it is needed, such as hormone production, building cell membranes, producing bile acids. However, if the amount of LDL in the blood becomes too high, it starts to deposit in the walls of blood vessels. Initially, LDL is useful, but when it is in excess, it turns harmful. These deposits make the vessel walls gradually thicker, the blood vessels narrower, and eventually they can become blocked. Depending on the location of the blockage, the consequences will be different. If it blocks the coronary arteries that supply the heart, it can cause a heart attack. If it blocks an artery in the brain and the plaque ruptures, it can cause a stroke. If it blocks arteries or veins in the limbs, the hands or feet may become bluish due to poor circulation. If it blocks the renal arteries, it can lead to kidney-related diseases. All of this originates from excessive LDL accumulating in the blood vessel walls. This is the reason why LDL is called bad cholesterol, because when it goes beyond the necessary level, it becomes the culprit behind many dangerous health problems. In parallel with LDL, we also have another type called high-density lipoprotein cholesterol, HDL. This is also cholesterol, but HDL is known as the good cholesterol. Why is that? Because when HDL enters the bloodstream, its role is to clean up the excess cholesterol that sticks to the artery walls. LDL tends to stick to the vessel walls and form deposits. Meanwhile, HDL moves through the blood, finds the excess cholesterol attached to the walls, and removes it. You can imagine it like this. LDL is someone throwing trash on the street, while HDL is the person cleaning it up. HDL collects the cholesterol stuck in the artery walls, brings it back to the liver, and then the body eliminates it. That's why HDL is called the good cholesterol, since it helps protect the blood vessels and reduces the risk of blockages in cardiovascular diseases. When we get a blood test, there are some important indicators we need to pay attention to. For LDL, the level should not exceed 100. The lower the LDL, the better. For HDL, good cholesterol, it should be at least 50. And the higher it is, the better for your health. So, when looking at test results, seeing high cholesterol is not always a bad thing. If it's HDL that is high, that's actually a good sign. What we should worry about is when LDL is too high. That's why instead of completely cutting out fats or cholesterol from your diet, what we really need is a smart eating plan. Eat in a way that helps increase HDL. And at the same time, reduce LDL. The key point to remember is that cholesterol is still essential for the body. We don't have to avoid it entirely, but we need to balance and regulate it properly. Once we understand the true nature of cholesterol and blood lipids, our main goal is prevention. Don't wait until cholesterol levels are already high, because once that happens, it can trigger a series of dangerous health problems. The first and most important thing to pay attention to is our eating habits and diet. It's not about cutting out cholesterol or fat completely, but about building a balanced and smart eating plan. Choosing foods that help increase good cholesterol and reduce bad cholesterol, LDL. Foods that increase bad cholesterol mainly come from saturated fats and trans fats. These are terms we often hear on TV or read in articles, but it's not always clear which foods contain them. Saturated fats are commonly found in red meat, such as beef, lamb, goat, horse, which is why it's recommended to limit their intake as they raise bad cholesterol. Animal organs, awful. Processed meats like smoked meat, sausages, certain dairy products like cream, cheese, and whole milk. Trans fats are even more harmful because they not only raise bad cholesterol, but also negatively affect many other parts of the body. These fats are often created during the process of hydrogenating oils, which helps extend the shelf life of foods. They are found in packaged baked goods such as cookies, cakes, and pastries, fried packaged snacks like chips, some processed or canned foods. That's why we should limit saturated fats and completely avoid trans fats. On the other hand, to raise good cholesterol, we should add more unsaturated fats, including monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fats. These healthy fats are found in fatty fish like salmon, tuna, and mackerel. Plant-based oils such as peanut oil, olive oil, nuts like walnuts, cashews, well known for their heart health benefits. In addition, it's important to increase fiber intake from vegetables and fruits while reducing refined sugar found in candies, sweetened beverages, and packaged foods. Natural sugar from fruits is a better option, but even that should not be consumed excessively. In short, a scientific and balanced diet means eating the right foods, limiting unhealthy fats, boosting fiber, and choosing natural sugars. This is the key foundation to controlling cholesterol and protecting heart health. The second thing you need to do to control cholesterol in your body is exercise. Regular physical activity helps increase fat burning and energy consumption. When you engage in physical activities, fat is used as fuel, which in turn helps reduce cholesterol levels. The most effective exercises for heart health and cholesterol management are called aerobic exercises. These workouts are especially beneficial for cardiovascular health. You can easily find many of them on YouTube, such as cardio workouts, aerobic exercises. Aim for about 30 minutes of exercise every day, enough to make you sweat, and you'll already see great benefits for cholesterol control. The third step is weight management. Not everyone who is overweight has high cholesterol, but excess weight is one of the key factors that raise blood cholesterol. That's why maintaining a healthy weight is so important. In particular, consuming too many refined carbohydrates is one of the main causes of weight gain, which indirectly raises cholesterol. Therefore, you should limit refined carbs and maintain a BMI under 25, according to international standards. This is considered a healthy target for supporting heart health and reducing the risk of cholesterol-related diseases. The next point to keep in mind for controlling cholesterol in our body is to completely avoid smoking. Smoking can be either active or passive. It doesn't directly raise cholesterol levels in the blood, but it contains many harmful substances like nicotine and other chemicals that damage the blood vessel walls. When the vessel walls are damaged, cholesterol deposits more easily, leading to narrowed arteries. This is why avoiding tobacco in all forms is essential. Finally, we need to control cholesterol with medication if it becomes elevated. In such cases, using medication should always be guided and monitored by a doctor, especially a cardiologist, because the type and dosage depend on many factors. There are three main groups of medications commonly used to control cholesterol. 1. Medications that inhibit cholesterol synthesis in the liver. These drugs reduce the liver's production of cholesterol, thereby lowering blood cholesterol levels. A typical example is statins. 2. Bile acid sequestrants. Cholesterol is a raw material for bile production. When using these drugs, bile acids are bound and reduced, forcing the liver to produce more bile and in the process consume more cholesterol, helping to lower blood cholesterol. 3. Cholesterol absorption inhibitors. These drugs prevent the body from absorbing cholesterol from food. As a result, the cholesterol you consume is not retained and is eliminated from the body. All three groups are effective in controlling blood cholesterol. However, choosing and using these medications requires a doctor's prescription and careful supervision. They cannot be taken arbitrarily. In summary, there are 5 essential steps to control cholesterol in the blood. 1. Eat a healthy diet. 2. Exercise regularly. 3. Maintain a healthy weight. 4. Avoid smoking. 5. Take medication under a doctor's guidance when necessary. Hopefully, after watching this video, you will have a new perspective on cholesterol and blood fat, allowing you to better manage your cholesterol levels. Because this is the root cause of many health issues such as heart disease, stroke, high blood pressure, diabetes, all stemming from cholesterol alone. Therefore, prevention is key, rather than waiting until you have the disease to start treatment, which can be very exhausting for the body. If you find this video helpful, tag your friends or share it so that more people can access this knowledge. See you in the next videos. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to get the latest health insights every day. To avoid missing future videos, you can subscribe using the circular icon in the center or check out other videos on the left and right. See you soon.